This is TWiT.
So, okay, speaking of OnePlus, because you were just talking about the OnePlus 10 Pro, not too long ago, we talked a little bit on the show about a new device by OnePlus that is definitely not in the premium. It's kind of not even really in the mid-tier. It's really kind of a low, more like a total budget smartphone offering from OnePlus called the Nord N300 5G. I actually got one from OnePlus to kind of give a review and give it a spin. I haven't spent time with it yet. I've just really kind of unboxed it and started to set it up. I will say that I set it up before the show and I synced it to my Google account, which is, the system that we normally do nowadays because Google makes it easy to restore. And I did it from the cloud onto this device, and then soon after, the device started rebooting very randomly on me in pre-show. It was like I was just on the screen, then suddenly, boop, it would reboot. And I'm pretty certain it's not the phone. I think it's something that's tied to my account in the cloud because this has happened with another phone recently. And then what I ended up doing was totally wiping it and starting fresh and installing everything manually, which is a big pain in the butt to have to do that. But anyways, I say this just to say that I'm pretty certain. I mean, if it crops up for me again as I'm using this device, I will certainly let everybody know. But I have a feeling that the problem's not with the phone as much as it is there's something in my backups, in my cloud backups, that's throwing off devices when I set it up. So anyways, I don't know what the heck that could be, but nonetheless, the Nord N300 5G, I did get it, and I'm going to be kind of giving it a little bit of a spin here. $228. So when you're talking about price category, this is a very affordable device, and you can kind of see design-wise, it really takes some inspiration from the iPhone 14 and the Pro. I mean, it has a lot of it has that kind of flattened edge, which I feel like we're not seeing a whole lot of in the Android space these days. I mean, there's just some qualities of this that feel very iPhone to me. But this back does a good job of pretending to not be plastic, but it is. But it feels pretty, solid and sturdy. Sometimes with plastic backs, I feel like there's a hollow quality to it, and I'm not really getting that with this. But yeah, 6.56 inch LCD display. Does have 90 hertz refresh. So that's not a bad thing to have at $228. It also has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, which is that's a lot of battery for this price especially. So and oh man, I didn't write down the fast charge, but I want to say it's something like 33 watt or something like that. So again, you can charge it up a little bit faster. It doesn't have things like wireless charging, that sort of stuff. But anyways, I guess in the $228 category, I mean, I'm thinking back to the story that you were just talking about and the Pixel 6a with that price drop of $150 brings that down to, I think, $300. So this is, at the price that this is selling without a sales price, this is, $60-ish, $70-ish less than what you get the 6A for right now on sale. And I'm just thinking the 6A is a solid choice in that price category. But if you want to save a little bit more, maybe you're looking at a device like this, also keeping in mind that you got to be on T-Mobile in order to use this. But being that I'm with Mint Mobile, one of the sponsors on the network, I've been using Mint Mobile for years. They are using the T-Mobile network, MVNO, and so I'm going to put this through some paces for the next week or two and see how it goes. It's been a while since I've spent solid ongoing time with a lower budget device, so I'm really curious to see kind of how that goes. The little fingerprint.
I like the look of it.
Yeah, I do too. I think design wise, again, it always for me goes back to if OnePlus does one thing really well, pretty consistently, I feel like their designs are pretty solid. They're pretty top notch.
Yeah, it's really nice, very clean.
Yeah, very clean. Does not feel like when I pick this up, I do not immediately think, well, this is a cheap device. You know what I mean? $225 is pretty darn inexpensive. It definitely feels more expensive than the price might lead you to believe. So yeah.
I got to say, it's been a while since I've had a OnePlus in my hand.
Yeah.
In my inventory, in my arsenal.
What was the last one, if you can remember?
The OnePlus 8, maybe?
OnePlus 8.
Or 7? It might have been 7 Pro with the little camera that popped up.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you're talking earlier era. Yeah.
Yeah, earlier. Yeah, it might have been that. But I will say, like, I always like their build. Yeah. It always feels like they have an identity, right? And it always feels like yes, this is a OnePlus phone, and so I'd be down to check out a OnePlus phone again, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I think they've got another flagship on the horizon. I think I saw a news story. We're starting to get leaks and everything with whatever their next latest and greatest is. I think it's been interesting for me to see the story around OnePlus kind of shift in the last 2 to 3 years, where, for the longest time they were that enthusiast brand. There was excitement there that they were doing a lot with, in a price category that was really a lot lower than the quality you were getting. And like I was just saying, like, I think there's still truth to that, but some of the luster has really, the shine has really kind of, has muted over the last few years. And, it's hard to know if that's just like their brand has matured, or if they're, have they actively done things that have soured people's taste on what they're doing in smartphones now. I mean, to a certain degree,
I don't know about soured.
They've made themselves way more accessible in a lot of different ways, and maybe that just kind of removes a little bit of the unique quality of their devices.
Have they grown into complacency?
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Michelle? I'm curious to know kind of your thoughts on the evolution of OnePlus in the last few years, and kind of how people are responding to them versus the way they used to. I mean, you were at XDA for years, so you were drowning in OnePlus coverage at one point. I don't know about you personally, but XDA in general.
Yeah, I think, a lot of the enthusiast opinion on OnePlus has soured somewhat based on, them switching over to ColorOS, them becoming less, I guess, friendly with the developer community.
Yeah.
But I think overall it's been a success for the brand to do this, because it's allowed them to tap into greater resources, reduce costs across the board. ColorOS is not, I never thought it was a bad operating system. It's different. It's not what people were used to with Oxygen OS. It has some different behaviors, different UI. It's more iOS-like, which is, I guess, the main criticism people had of ColorOS, but I never thought it was bad. And I think it is a solid direction for OnePlus to be going in, but it does feel like they've kind of lost their identity. It does feel like they're just now, people always accuse them of being an Oppo sub-brand, and now it really feels like that's what they are.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you nailed it. That's exactly where I was trying to go. That identity, that kind of unique quality about them, has really kind of flattened, or at least the perception is that's the case. At the same time, they're doing something right, because they're in carrier stores now, at least here in the U.S. And that's really, if you are a smartphone brand and you want to be a air quotes success, you got to be in the carrier stores, and you got to do what you got to do to get there. And being the old school OnePlus brand, where they were only selling online, they were really catering to the enthusiast, developer friendly, all that kind of stuff. You're just not as easily going to end up in the carriers, which is where I think you move a lot of devices, like it or not, here in the U.S. It's just the way it is. So yeah. So the Nord N300, I'll give it some time and let you know what I think in the coming weeks. You can look forward to that. Don't miss All About Android every week. We talk about the latest news, hardware, apps, and now all the developer-y goodness happening in the Android ecosystem. I'm Jason Howell, also joined by Ron Richards, Florence Ion, and our newest co-host on the panel, Wen Tu Dao, who brings her developer chops. Really great stuff. We also invite people from all over the Android ecosystem to talk about this mobile platform we love so much. Join us every Tuesday, All About Android, on TWiT.tv.